Hey, welcome to the Gary Avid YouTube channel. Hey, I got some, I came up with a video idea. I've got it on my head. I'm maybe not as prepared as I usually am because I want to get to a final topic that discusses about when you first move into the villages, what to expect. But I need to get you there. I'm thinking this is your forever home. Maybe it's almost your forever home. And what I want to talk about is the steps I want you to do. Now, this isn't totally about my previous videos, but I'm going to bring them up because I'm going to recommend them as I go along. The first step that I believe you've got to do, you've got to figure out what you want in retirement. The Villages is a great place. You can come visit and it'd be great and you might just love it, and it puts in your head what you really would like your retirement to be. Or you can start out with a checklist to make sure you or you and your spouse both like it and it'll both work for you. And so I did a video, it's called Retirement Guide Step 1 Checklist. September 12th, I released it in 2022. I recommend you watch that if you have any questions about retirement and what you plan to do. That's the first step. I think you have to get things in order before you take your next step. Now, I did a 4-part series. I'm just going to talk about that. Just that first one, it helps you get on your way to what you're looking for. Then you go out and you look. And part 2 of that series, which kind of makes sense, how to find your 55 plus. And I'm going to skip everything that's in that video and go right to that. If you're looking at the Villages, sign up. You got to do this. You can come down, take a look, drive around, but do a lifestyle visit. I did not do a lifestyle visit. It's not a requirement, but I think if I did it, I might have made the choice even faster. But I didn't do the lifestyle visit, but I saw enough to be happy with the Villages. But come down for a lifestyle visit, 4 days, a week, whatever is their program. Get a golf cart, do the whole golf cart thing. I think that's part of the experience. People who come down who don't do the golf cart thing don't really completely understand the Villages. At least for me, that's a major, major component. We're getting there. So you do the lifestyle visit and you fall in love with the place. I'm assuming you just fall in love with the place like 90% of the other people that do this lifestyle visit. The cases in which it doesn't work out are people who want to live in the woods. This ain't the place. For people who are maybe younger, they're not 55, 65, 70, and they suddenly see a lot of people in their 70s and town squares. It's not their thing. Maybe the music and your generation don't mix. I get it. Might not be your place. But I think for those that are in the right age group, will find that this is the right place. So then you do the lifestyle, you like the Villages, you look at homes. And I've done another video on how to find the right home. This was one of my first ones. It's called How to Purchase. And when I did How to Purchase a Home, let me go back to when that was. I will put it up on the screen. This was really the original because I had gotten to the point where, okay, I like it, I want to purchase. So I did a video on how to purchase because I found it very unique how Villages agents only handle new homes. There's no negotiation, there's time limits. You got to watch that, but it tells you how to find a house, how to get into the system, how to become the top person to pick your next home. You know, some people call it a lottery, whatever, but I don't think it's a true lottery. It's got a procedure. And watch my The Villages, How to Purchase. I think that will be very helpful to you. And that was one of the first ones. The next question when you want to purchase is, can you afford to live in the Villages? Probably my most popular video. people watch that. I discuss all of my costs and calculations on can you afford to live in villages. And that really leads to what we're going to talk about today. What we're going to talk about today is people that move in, especially into a new home. I think you all know that if you go through a regular and buying a home that's pre-owned, you're going to go through a regular realtor process, negotiate, do inspections, do all of those things, kind of like what you would do in your own neighborhood. It's going to be the same procedure. When you buy a new house, you get a bunch of benefits, but you're not negotiating. The price is the price. You either accept it or you don't. The next person will take it if you don't. That's just how that system works. The Villages does a great job. They build so many homes. What they have is almost like this 1-year warranty. There are some items that you got to do in the first 7 days or a week or so. The other items you have up to a year to fix. You make a list. You don't do it all year. You just do it one time. I'm going on and on, but new home has its benefits compared to anywhere else I've ever purchased. But when you buy one of these homes, I think you've got to recognize who else is out there. And you may be one of these people. I think there's a misnomer that developers are buying up all the low inventory homes. And I don't think that's the case, because I think the Villages screen that out. If I was a person who kept trying to buy over and over again, they'd go, wait a minute, we just sold him the house. They try to keep their prices where they're at because they're afraid of other people buying homes and then reselling them. So you can't sell your home for a year. Keeps out somebody from buying multiple homes and then flipping them for more money, which they definitely could do in certain times when times were good, interest rates were low. They could have done that, but the Villages stopped it by making a requirement that you can't sell the home for a year. It's what you agree to when you buy one of these homes. So that leads me to this. There are house prices, let's just put them into categories, 200 to 300,000, 300,000 to 400,000, and 400,000 and up. I'm doing those three because I think you have this. If you buy one of those homes as your forever home, I think you've got to know this. There are a lot of buyers out there that go to the Villages and they go, this is where I want to go and retire. But I need to buy now, not when I'm retiring. Not everybody is buying and leaving their current residence in Michigan, Illinois, New England, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. They're still working. And they're probably retirement age or in the 55 plus. And the Villages in the $200,000 to $300,000 category, you're going to get a lot of villas. Villas are priced in that category. The houses have fences, but they're a little closer together. Square footage sometimes is smaller, 800 to 1,200 square feet. They do have some bigger ones. But in general, they're smaller homes. And I think what I learned was a lot of people jump into those over the years. They jump into those to lock in a place for them to go in retirement. And what happens is if they hold on to the place, it's empty for a little while, or they just visit in the winters or summers or a couple weeks here and there. When they actually sell and retire and make the bigger move, they find them too small and they sell them. And they move in the Villages to a bigger square footage. It's something that happens. Some now, because of the whole Airbnb thing, they buy them, they're not going to move there, and they decide to rent them out. Whether it's short-term rentals, long-term rentals, they have to decide how they're going to handle that. So if you buy one of these homes and move immediately into it, you're probably going to see around your neighborhood renters because the people that own other homes and are not there yet have decided financially they want to earn some money from the house before they move there. They've locked it in and they've put it up to rent, whichever method. Now I can see that if you move into a house and next door is an Airbnb, there's going to be turnover of people. It's not going to be like what some people talk about, the villages and all friendly and meet your neighbors. And I think this happens in a lot of the lower end homes. Now, all of the homes, no matter what range you're in, I think experience where people buy them as winter homes, places to go from the north to the south in the winter and go back to their regular house. And you'll find that in the lower category and the middle category a lot, that it's, kind of the winter home. Nobody wants to be up in the snow. They want to be in the south. So understand, I think, the lower price homes are going to be more of those purchase quickly, but people aren't moving in quickly. Then you get to the 300,000 and 400,000. That I would call a downsized home, but they're usually 1,400 to 2,000 square feet. So they're not small, and they're not as small as many of the villas. They're a little bit bigger. They're cottage homes. There's some designer homes. These will experience the same thing, but maybe not to the magnitude of the smaller. These will be either people who have really thought about the size that they want to downgrade to from their home in the north or from the west. They may have really thought about it, but they may be taking longer to move in. They've got it, and they're just taking a while to make that choice. Not everybody can make that choice right off. Because I'm hearing some people that move in, they think everything was purchased by developers or flipping it or selling it, when you're really in a big rental area, or you've got a lot of neighbors that are going to eventually come, but they need the financial income from it, so that's where you see the rental. And I don't think it's, I think it's people trying to purchase before prices keep going up. I think you can see prices keep going up, so they try to do that. So I don't think you see it, and this is my judgment call, as much when you get to 500,000 and above. I think those are really homes that most people, not everybody, there's going to be exceptions, most are going to move in immediately. So if you want that experience of you bought a home and then everybody in your neighborhood's buying homes and you're going to meet each other, the 500,000 and up, you're definitely, even some of the 400,000 and up, you're going to be in that category. The lower price homes, and I just say lower price because the cost of the homes, some are in a financial where they're paying for both. They either have to rent it or leave it with nobody there. So you have a feeling that many of your neighbors aren't there. But I have seen in my neighborhood, we've seen some renters, they've stayed. They have been there for a year and a half. Some of the renters that you meet may become your permanent because the person who owns the home decides to sell it to that renter. And in today's market, who knows, that might be a good option for somebody. So I wanted to get this out, that you could have different experience. One of the things that a lot of people like is the experience of when they buy into a new neighborhood, everybody's moving in, they have block parties, all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily in your neighborhood will it be the same. I think it depends on the house, the market, and who's moving in. In some streets, everybody's kind of like moved in. Other streets, it's trickling over the first year. And another thing that happens that I just want to remind people, a lot of times homes get built, they get sold, people start moving in. The rec centers aren't finished. Not all the pools are open. You might have to wait. You know, in my neighborhood, the local pool wasn't open for 6-8 months after I purchased. So be aware that you're not like, the house isn't the last thing the developer does in the area. It is one of the first things they do because they want to get it built out and go. And some of the rec centers just take a little bit longer. And then you even have the entertainment areas, like Sawgrass Grove. Took a while, even longer, after people were all moved into St. Catherine and Citrus Grove were all, and it wasn't really open. So you had to kind of imagine what is going to come. So I just really want to do this video that there are really three components. Figure out what your retirement requirements are, your checklist. Start to look for the 55 plus community. Do a lifestyle visit. Those are the major things. Then understand how to purchase. Then do your budget. Make sure you have your budget in line. Not everybody experiences lots of people when they first move in. And I think that's really the message I wanted to get out today. It's not a bad thing, but it's not something that I anticipated when I purchased. And when I purchased, I didn't think it would be this long before I moved in permanently. I've slowly met my neighbors, and they're great. They're great. Just be careful with your expectations of moving down there, and don't expect that everybody in your neighborhood is permanent like you are if that's your situation. Your neighborhood's not going to be like instantly done, and people are going to be moving in for a year and a half after you sign the papers. So I just want to let you know that. I hope you enjoyed this. Like and subscribe. Put the bell on, and videos, when I do them, they'll come up. I know I haven't done as many recently. I've kind of been stretched out. Again, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.